Childhood trauma ranges from physical to psychological to emotional. And when these trauma are left unattended to, they could manifest in negative ways. And these negative ways could lead to people calling you a negative or a bad person. So with that being said, here are 5 signs you see in yourself to make you know that you are not a bad person. It's just your trauma that is playing a role in making you look like one. Number 1, sometimes you are socially withdrawn. Have you found yourself cancelling important outings or at the last minute, or not wanting to socialize with friends and families? Well, this could be a negative impact of your trauma and not you being a bad person or being someone who is uncaring. Number 2, trusting others gives you a hard time. Do you find it so hard to trust people, no matter how they try to prove themselves, prove their worth, no matter how honest they are, you still find it hard to trust them? Well, it's not your fault. Trusting people is a process. It's more difficult for a person who has gone through traumatic experiences in life. So don't be hard on yourself. This is your trauma playing a role. You are not a bad person. Number 3, you act distant and emotionally depressed. Do you find it very hard to express your emotions? You feel you shouldn't show people that you're happy, or show people that you're sad, or show people that you're depressed. Express how you feel. The thing that happens is, when you go through a trauma as a child, you find it so hard to express yourself because you express, let's say it was sexual abuse. You were vulnerable, you expressed yourself, you trusted, you relied on that person emotionally, and that person let you down. That person sexually abused you. So that childhood experience wires the brain and conditions you to make you feel that everybody will be like that. So you see everybody as a potential abuser. You see everybody as an emotional abuser and tend to, find it so hard to express your emotions when you are with them. Number 4, you sabotage your own relationships. Relationships are built on trust. Relationships are built on emotional vulnerability. And like the 2 points I've said earlier, you find it hard to express emotions, you find it hard to trust people, and this tends to, destroy your relationship. You see that you just act in ways that tend to end relationships that could have, been ended, or that should have continued in the best light. This would cause people to call you a bad person, and this could make you even feel like you are a bad person. But no, you're not a bad person. It's just these traumatic experiences that you've had as a child that's caused you to have behaviors, have characteristic traits that tend to chase people away and end beautiful relationships. Number 5, you have unhealthy coping mechanisms. Coping mechanisms are ways through which you try to, cope. You try to escape your stress. You try to, free yourself from stressful activities. So what are negative coping mechanisms? Binge drinking, smoking, multiple unnecessary sexual experiences, sleeping heavily, whether in the day or in the night, just to free yourself from your negative day. These are negative coping mechanisms. So if you see that you do this, you have these negative coping mechanisms, and this causes people to call you a bad person, or this makes you feel like a bad person, well, it could have been as a result of the negative impact of bad things, childhood trauma that you experienced in the past. The childhood days and the childhood years are periods where the foundation for adulthood are built. That's why it is very important to say you raise your child, the best way, so that when he grows, he will not depart from it. That is just it. But negative circumstances in life cause traumatic events to happen in childhood, thereby damaging the foundation. So now, these things have happened. The foundation has been set, but it doesn't mean that's the end of the world. So all these things that I've said in this video are things that you can work on. You can work on trusting people. Try in little steps. You can work on, showing your emotions, baby steps, baby steps. You can work on coping with stress in other helpful ways, listening to music, jogging, you can do boxing, exercise, weightlifting. These are very good very positive ways you can cope with stress. Yeah, so don't give up on yourself. You are a king, you are a queen. So don't let this childhood trauma, don't let it affect you. Yeah. So that's all on today's video. Stay cool, stay fresh, and most importantly, stay psyched.